Well, that squirt can shoot up. And the calcium carbonate I mentioned earlier, it can grow in that direction. But pressure goes away, and it can change shape. Because they all share that in common, we call these helictites, with an H. Helictite. You want to try it out? Nice. Now you can introduce yourself to them later. But I do want to point out something. Where we've been, what we change. Sometimes we left this cave with more than just what's in our hearts, but maybe our pockets too, right?
That's the one in your pocket.
Yeah. Oh? No, it's not in my pocket. It's back in the visitor. No. But I can guarantee that's not where this is from. But it came from somewhere. You're good to point that out. And honestly, folks, I'm not one to point fingers at anyone. We don't know who did this. It's a clean cut. We know it was done by a human. But it's also been touched quite a bit. Its fate is on hold. But I want to give it a little bit of encouragement. A little bit of life still in there, right? And for those of y'all right here, what I ask of y'all is to get a good look. I want y'all to stand right here. I don't want y'all to miss out. What's a little bit of light through. This formation is still in kindergarten. It's not had the pressure of the limestone around it. It's had, like a full-time job or college. Yeah, well, my bad analogy aside, I want to point out there's been some pressure. The calcium carbonate has been squeezed a little bit. And the reason I'm pointing this out is this was broken by us. We'll also see even behind us, where we just came through, sledgehammer did meet rock, and you will see broken cave. It's like a wound, but the question now is, can it heal? This cave is persistent. It puts up with change, not just from us humans. We shouldn't beat ourselves up all the time. Change is constant in the grand scheme of things. I want to point out what we're seeing there is what we see all around us. This is the childhood of these formations. This limestone's like Swiss cheese. It has holes all in it. A hole becomes a tube. A tube becomes like a straw. Don't y'all love it? When you're drinking out of a straw and a piece of ice gets shoved up into it, don't y'all love when that happens? That can happen here. That's when it becomes a fully fledged stalactite. And they get a little bit of a personality, an ego, like we do as humans. But every so often, change happens. It gets broken somehow. And what you are seeing there is a hole emerges. And that is now its next chance to begin again. Try something else out. How much will it take for it to come back? Kind of hard to say, because some are show-offs. They grow a little bit faster in the same amount of time. Others might be bone dry till the end of time. It all depends on how much water each and every formation in this cave gets. They're like my friends, though. I check up on them on every tour, see how they're doing. But something I want y'all to think about is, in this cave, what is something y'all would protect?
Your head.
That's important, right? Now think about the answer, though. Think about it. What is something you want to protect in this cave? And it can be yourself. Yeah, that's a good one. But think about that. And I have one last formation to share with y'all in this room. However, it's a very rare formation. And for us to see it, I'm going to slowly make my way right through here. And I'll have y'all do something. You are fine, no rush. I want y'all to come up a little closer to me. You get a little closer. My bat won't jump out at you. What I want y'all to do now, let's turn around. Just look up. We're seeing a crack, an opening, and something is emerging from it. It's like a plate, like a disc. These are very rare formations found in hardly any caves in this country, let alone the world. Based on their shape, we call them cave shields. And they're very mysterious. We're still figuring out how they grow. The best way I can describe to y'all how these grow is, well, do y'all like Oreos? Yeah? They're so good, right? I want you to think of an Oreo. I want you to think of those 2 cookie layers coming out of that crack. We're gonna take the cream filling out, right? The best part. And replace that with water, squeezing its way between those 2 plates. Now, for what gives it a round appearance, for what gives it strength to hold up other formations, we don't really know that yet. We are still researching that. But for us to make any headway on that, I have a mission for y'all. Up ahead, we're about to start exploring. We're going to get to see a lot of this cave. And if you see one of those disc-like formations, those cave shields, here's what I want you to say. Hi, shield. Can y'all do that? You want to try it out right here? Hi, shield. Come on, folks. I want to hear your beautiful voices. And it's okay if you don't want to. But most importantly, let's say hi to the shields, but most importantly, we have to communicate up ahead. There will be narrow spots. There will be low spots. I will be pointing them out, and if someone doesn't say it, someone might get hurt. So let's be careful and help each other out in that regard. Also, if you're stopping to take a picture, think about how long that's taking in your tour, right? But more importantly, also, what if there's a low spot behind you? Someone's waiting there looking up at you. How long is that going to take? So can we all be considerate too? Does that sound good, everyone? Sure. All right. I know I'm being a little dramatic on all that, but it's important stuff. I'll do my part. Narrow spot. Pass it back. Low spot here. Pass it back.
Low spot coming up.
There we go. Cool. The real fun begins now. Low spot. Pass it back.
Low spot coming up.
Narrow. Take your time.
Narrow.